Welcome back. So how was my client able to sell $18,000 worth of a group coaching program in less than 2 weeks? Well, that's what I'm going to share with you today. I'm also going to help you sell more of your group coaching program. So stay tuned. So the first thing to understand when trying to sell a group coaching program is understanding that group coaching has more of a structure than one-on-one coaching. Now, there's nothing wrong with starting with one-on-one coaching or starting with group coaching. It really doesn't matter. But what matters is that you understand that when you're bringing individuals into a group coaching scenario, it's not as customized, it's not as personalized. And so you need to remember that each of those clients that comes through needs to have a similar problem so that you can actually help them get results. When you're creating a group coaching program, it's because you actually already know what that process is from A to Z in order to help them get that result. And so what you're doing in the group coaching program is you're creating some sort of standardized process. You can use videos, you can use worksheets, you can use checklists or whatever it is that you have, but each client is going to go through that standardized process. Now, what I like about group coaching versus one-on-one coaching or courses is that group coaching is essentially a hybrid of the two. So one-on-one coaching is highly customized. It can be kind of draining and it takes a lot of time because you're only doing that one-on-one coaching. Whereas courses are much more leveraged. You can reach many more people, but it's not as impactful because people tend to fall off in courses. They don't necessarily finish them. And it's hard to get the same results for someone in a course that you could get with one-on-one coaching. And that's why I love group coaching, because with group coaching, you kind of have an intersection of the two. So you've got the course standardized format, but you're including some sort of coaching component into that. And that's exactly what my client had set up. So she had a $1,500 group coaching program, which was essentially an on-demand course that also came with group coaching calls. So they were able to come to the calls, get their questions answered, interact with their peers. And so a lot of times something like that is a lot more powerful than when you're just kind of in a silo in one-on-one coaching by yourself. So in order to create your group coaching program, you've got to figure out that common element and make sure that that's standardized. Secondly is if you're going to do a group coaching program, it makes sense to create a high ticket offer because you can do a course at a lower price point and you can do one-on-one coaching at a higher price point, but a group coaching offer needs to be somewhere in the middle. If it's going to require your time and your effort and you're really helping them get customized results inside of that group coaching program, then it makes sense to offer it at a high ticket price. I like a price point of anywhere from around $1,000 up to about $3,000 for your first group coaching program. And then you can move it on up from there. So how was my client able to sell over $18,000 worth of her group coaching program in under 2 weeks? So it's important that you understand what the before was. Before, she was actually already selling the program via email, and she kind of did a launch method in order to do that. So she would bring people into her email list, she would send a series of emails, and then they may or may not have purchased. Then when we started working together, we created a webinar. So we created a very highly targeted, highly converting webinar, and she was able to present that webinar to her audience. And we also used ads in order to bring webinar registrations in. And when she presented that webinar to her audience, she was able to sell over $18,000 in just 2 weeks. I caught up with her a little bit later and found out that she had gone on to sell over $23,000 during that launch period with just about a $300 ad budget. Now, I was totally blown away because these results, they're not common, obviously, but it's important to understand that she was able to create those results different than what she had done before because she created a webinar. The webinar was what did the selling for her. Even for the new people who came in who didn't even know her yet, they watched the webinar, they quickly got to know her, they liked her, they trusted her, and they purchased, and they started getting results inside of her group coaching program. I believe the best way to sell a group coaching program is to sell it via a webinar. Explain exactly what that transformation is. Get that person the opportunity, the chance to get to know you, and then make them an offer. Now, she was going directly to a sales page. She actually didn't have to do sales calls, but you can sell your group coaching program through phone calls if you'd like. Your webinar can do that for you. At the end of the webinar, you can invite them to a phone call, or you can invite them to go to the sales page and make the purchase directly. Now, there's a little bit of a strategy when it comes to doing this, and I share that with you in my latest training. booking. So if you need help with your webinar, then definitely join me for the You've Got Clients training. I'll take you through the process of how we're booking coaching clients via webinar, how to write your webinar so that it's a very persuasive piece of content, and then also how we're getting webinar registrations for very cheap so that it makes the return on investment that much higher. In order to join us, all you have to do is click the link in the description box, or you can go to you'vegotclients.com/anti-webinar in order to get registered and signed up. In the meantime, if you have any questions about this topic, or if you'd like to ask more about the clients that I work with, all you have to do is leave your comments in the box below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.